Equations. So we'll be covering questions from 2017, 2018 and 2019 CAT quantitative aptitude sections, and every question that is directly related to quadratic equations would be sorted out today. So if you are ready for this session, if you think you are prepared for this session, immediately drop in a thumbs up, immediately drop in a yes, and we will start right away. Hello Khushbu, hi Kalpit, good evening. Hello Vibhor. Okay, Vibhor. Okay, I'll look into that. I'll look into that. But yeah, you will get 2 and 4 both. Is there nowhere mentioned P and Q should be integers? Okay, no issues, right? That I thought was understood, but I'll look into that and I'll give you an update on the group, right? Right. Hello Shruti, hi Shreya. Hello Ayushi, good evening. Hi Shubham, good evening. Hello Harika. Right, so if there's anyone who does not know me, who does not remember me, my name, ladies and gentlemen, is Amit Sir. I am an aeronautical engineer from Chennai, and I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. I have helped over 2 lakh students achieve all their dreams, achieve all their goals with respect to their career. If you are planning on sharing this on any of your social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, please do not forget to use hashtag #CatLiveDaily. In fact, I would request all of you all to start, sharing this on your platforms, because you want people to know about this, and only if they know about this, they could also be benefited from this, right? Okay, Prince, another day, another language. Bhai, tu mera Duolingo ban raha hai. I don't know, Hail Hitler, whatever. That's the only German I think I know. Hello, Saurav, hi. Okay, so if you haven't already joined the community that we have on Telegram, yes, we have a community on Telegram. We are growing stronger day by day. 600 plus aspirants have joined it, all of them having one common goal of cracking CAT this year, CAT 2020, or if I should call it CRAT 2020, because we want to crack CAT. I don't know. So if you also have a similar goal, please join in this community. We have so far we've been having all information being passed on the kind of sessions we are having on a daily basis. Yes, free live sessions on YouTube that we've been having on a daily basis. So if you want a reminder, if you also want to be reminded that we have a session going on and this is the topic that we'll be dealing with, please join in this group. Soon we will also start sharing information that would be essential for your CAT 2020, or even if you're planning on giving it in the year 2021, you can still be a part of this. Yes, because what is better than preparing for 6 months? It is 1 year and 6 months, right? So if you also have an aim of appearing for CAT 2021, please do not refrain yourself from joining this community. I am also a part of this group, which means if you have any questions, any queries, you'd want to have your doubts cleared or whatever, you can always contact me. Yes, my ID is Surana Live, and I'm also an admin on the group, so you can text me separately as well. And if you haven't already joined Unacademy's Plus subscription, I don't know what you guys are doing yet. Yes, please go ahead, immediately take this up. You know the benefits, you know how fruitful this is going to be, right? You know how important this is for your CAT 2020. And also, I don't know if I should tell you this, but the advantages, the benefits here are seamless. Yes, so anyone who has already joined it has started taking advantage of that, right? Which basically means they are almost a step ahead of you. Yeah. So if you haven't already done this, if you already do not know where your competitors are at present, yes, you are actually lagging a little bit behind. Yeah. So what I would suggest is go ahead, take this up as soon as possible. If you have any questions, any queries regarding this, you can always contact me, right? I can always help you out with this. I would obviously give my genuine opinion about this. And if you use the code Surana Live, you will be given an extra 10% discount from yours truly. Yes. All right, so let's get on with actual CAT questions. What we will be looking at today, guys, are some questions from 2017 and 18, questions that are directly, related to quadratic equations. Yes, we've seen questions. We've seen questions that are related to functions, questions related to logarithms, questions related to inequalities. We haven't included them yet. Yeah, because I thought in order to answer questions from log, we would have to first go through the concepts of log, right? Same applies for functions, same applies for inequalities, right? So although they were related to quadratic equations, we did not include them, which means we will be covering all of that in days to come. Yeah. So if you guys are ready for the session, if you guys are ready with your pen and a book, and if you have a water bottle next to you, and if your battery is charged beyond 100%, please send in a yes, please send in a thumbs up so that we could go ahead with the first question of the day. The moment I change the slide, ladies and gentlemen, the moment I press the next button, right, the timer would start. What I've done is I've set the timer at 90 seconds. It is completely fine if you are not yet able to answer these questions in 90 seconds. Or even if you are able to answer these questions at 90 seconds, yes, that it is completely on your discretion, right? Do not get over confident about it, or do not get demotivated because you were either able to solve it in less than 90 seconds, or you took a little over 90 seconds, because more than the question, or more than the difficulty level of the question, what also matters is your ambience, right? Right now where you're sitting is a place that you are aware of, you're familiar with this place, you're super comfortable with wherever you're sitting, your posture, also you're having everything next to you, right? But that may not be the case when you go to the exam center. Yes. And right now we have no clue how the exam centers are going to be, because back then I don't know if they knew this beforehand or not, but they did maintain social distancing, but at least inside the center, right? So people were almost about meters away from each other inside the center, but then when they had to enter it at the gate, at the security check, right, there was not much of distance maintained. Yeah. So probably we would see less number of aspirants in a particular center, which means the number of centers could get increased, or it doesn't make sense to increase another slot. So we don't know what they are thinking. Their IMs will leave the thinking to them. We will get on with our preparation. My next slide is going to be a question, and here it is. Your timer has begun already. This is a ITA question from 2017's first slot. Although this has the terms functions in it, right? They don't really have anything to do with the functions part. Yes. So go ahead, quickly answer this. Let's see if you are able to answer this or not. Yes. So you've almost spent about 30 seconds. By now, you should have read the question and should have understood what your approach should be. Yes, and you should have started with the question. You should be very nearing to the answer right now. Yes. Please ensure, guys, to read the question carefully. Without reading it carefully, please don't go ahead and start solving it, right? All right, Vibhor, I would not know about what winter is and what socks are, because I am from Chennai, never been through that difficult, time. Okay, Vibhor has an answer. All right. How about the others? What do you think is the answer to this question, guys? Yeah, so here what you have to keep in mind is they're not asking for the solutions here. Yes, they're asking for what is the largest positive integer n, which means n has to be an integer and n has to be maximum. Yes, that is what is asked in this question. So let's see if you would be able to answer this. Your time is up, guys. Your 90 seconds, dedicated 90 seconds on this question are up. So by now you should have had the answer at least on paper. Yes. If not, you have already sent it. You should at least have that on the paper. Let's see if you could answer this immediately and give me what the answer is to this question. Yes. Okay, yeah. So there are answers coming in. Very nice, very nice. Some are okay, some are right. Most are not right. No issues, no issues. Oh, okay. That's because just one guy has sent it so many times. Okay, I think I can, Yatendra, I can read it once. Uh, uh, yeah, your answer is kept in mind. Let's see how we would answer this question otherwise, right? Here what we've given are two functions, and the only aim of these functions are to get removed later, right? Because what they've given is the expression of this function, and the expression of this function should be equal. Yes, that means our expression now should be what? X squared plus 11x plus n should be equal to x. Yes, keeping in mind what? That n is a positive integer. Yes, and it should be the maximum, right? The maximum value of n is what is asked here. What do we know? We know for a fact that this particular function, this particular function has two distinct real roots, which means what should be the discriminant? Should it be less than 0, equal to 0, or greater than 0? Who can say that? Distinct real roots, which means what? This should be greater than 0. Yes, because if it's equal to 0, then it's going to be what? One real root. And if it is less than 0, which means we would have imaginary roots, right? They won't be real anymore. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead with what we have right now and see where this takes us. Yes, let's try and make this into the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So we would get what? X squared plus 10x plus n should be equal to 0. Yes, and what do we know about the discriminant? The discriminant says what? B squared minus 4ac should be greater than 0, which means b squared is 10 squared. Yes, that is 100. 100 minus 4 times b square minus 4ac, that is nothing but 4n. This should be greater than 0. Yes, this basically tells us what? This tells us what? That 4n should be less than 100, or in other terms, n should be less than 25. Yes. Now, the one common mistake that a lot of us make is considering the value of n to be 25, right? If n is 25, then we would have what? We would have one real root. Yes, we would have equal real roots or one real root, which means n should not be equal to 25. It should be one less than that. Yes, and since it's an integer, the highest value, the maximum value that n can take, right? N's maximum value being a positive integer would be what? 24. Yes, so anyone who said that the answer is 25, please go through, please check with what you have right now. Yes, other answers I am not aware. How would you get 30? But if you made an error in the calculation, please go through that. Yes, very nice. Anyone who has said the answer is 24, superb work. Yes, Vijay, nice. Vibhor, nice. Khushbu, very nice. Okay. Yatendra, now I think you've understood why you should not send in one wrong answer too many times, right? Because what's worse than giving one answer wrong once? Giving it too many times. Okay, Harika, superb, great job. Khushbu, very nice. So this was a very simple question, and from simpler times also. 2017's CAT, especially the quantitative aptitude section, was actually a sweetheart, right? Imagine the entire question paper. The entire question paper was like this. Yes, we could have answered this in what? Like 45 seconds max, right? Keeping in mind all the anxiety, all the fear that we would have about this question, keeping in mind that this is a TITA question and we would not have anything to cross check it against. Yes, sweetheart, isn't it? Yes, very nice. Hi Akshay, hello, please join us. Okay, right. Any questions here, any confusions here? So people who said the answer was any more than 24, is your question, is your mind clear now? Yes, have you sorted this out? Yes. So if you've answered this successfully, then congratulations. Yes, if this were 2017 and if you were giving the CAT in the first slot, you would have actually bagged 3 marks and also used a very little time, right? Okay, cheers to us to be able to answer this question. Let's drink to ourselves and then we'll move on to the next question, right? Cheers, guys. Of course, that's what. Yes, this is a 1-star question. Yeah. So there could be two reasons. There could be two reasons behind it, right? Reason one could be that the paper is actually easy. Yes, that is a fact. Yes, the question is actually a 1-star question. And the other reason is because we have been seasoned with quadratic equations so much, right? Almost a week we've spent, mastering quadratic equations, which basically makes us a specialist here. Yes. So both factors kept in mind, this is actually a 1-star question. Yes. Good for us. This is a 1-star question. We really hope something like this comes up in the 2020s CAT also, right? Okay. Shrishti, no issues for now. You can, just continue with the questions, right? You can take down the solutions of the questions. You can go back to the basics of quadratic equation. Yes. And then try to cope with us. Yeah. I would not want you to, drop down now, because then this would become difficult for you, right? So it's okay if you don't understand a few parts of it. It's still fine. Yes. I hope you're able to understand that. Yes. All right. Are you ready for the next question, guys? Yes. My second question would be from 2017 second slot. Yes. Another information is the next slide would immediately start the timer, which means that's how it works in actual CAT also, right? They don't give you some time to read the question paper beforehand. It's not like this is your school exams where they give you some time to go through the question paper about 10-15 minutes and then let you take the test. No, that's not the case. Yes. So here, the moment your next question comes, the moment you submit an answer or the moment you skip the question, your timer would be running. Yes. All right. So you all are ready. Let's move on to the next question. Here it is, CAT 2017's second slot. Yes. The question is very small in the case of the view of it. Yes, but then it's asking something that we would want to find out. Yes, the minimum possible value of the sum of the squares of the roots. Yes. And the equation is given to us with a variable in mind. All right. So try this question out. Let's see who can answer this in the given time. Okay, your timer is running, guys. 50% of the time is done. Yes. So by now, what you should have in your hand is almost an answer. Yes. You must have almost an answer. And since this is also a very 1-starry kind of question, yes, this is something that you'd be able to answer in the given time. Yes. Any answers, guys? Anyone? Yes, what they're asking for is not the roots. They're not asking for the roots. They're asking for the minimum possible value of the squares of the roots. Yes, that's what is asked here. Yes. Okay, Vidisha has answered it. Okay, Vidisha has answered it. All right. Although not the best answer here for this question, but then still there is an answer. Very nice. Okay, how about the others? Anyone else? The definite way here to be able to answer this question is using sum of the squares and the product of the sum of the roots and product of the roots, of course, right? So we have Vidisha, Rishant, Khushi and Paradox all saying 4 different answers. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, Kalpit says 4, Shubham says 3. Okay, let's try this out. Yes, let's try this out. Although this may seem like a long question, but then it isn't in reality. Yes, let's try this out. So let's consider our roots to be alpha and beta. Yes, alpha and beta are the roots. Yes. So what have they asked us? This is very important. What have they asked us? They have asked us the minimum possible value. The minimum possible value of what? The sum of the squares of the roots. Yes, sum of the squares of the roots. Yes. So we need the minimum possible value of alpha square plus beta square. Yes. What, how can we get anywhere close to it, because we do not know. There is a variable here. Yes, a could be anything. Yes, which means we cannot factorize this. We cannot rely upon the quadratic formula. That literally gives us what? An opportunity to talk about the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, right? So what do we know? The sum of the roots is always what? Negative b. Yes, so in this case it would be what? Minus a plus 3. Yeah, and what about the product of the roots, guys? What is the product of the roots? Product of the roots is c, which is by default negative a plus 5. Yes, so this is what we have here. This is what we have here. And in order to answer this, we need what? Alpha square plus beta square, right? We need alpha square plus beta square. Can I write this? So I need to write this in the form of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. That basically would give me what? Alpha plus beta the whole square is how much? Alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta, which means I have to remove the 2 alpha beta part out of this, and I would get what? Alpha square plus beta square, right? Yes. So just give me 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'll be back. So getting back here, we know that the value of alpha plus beta is what? Minus of a plus 3, right? So minus of a plus 3 the whole square is what would go here. Yes, so minus of alpha plus beta the whole square, right? The whole square minus 2 times minus of a plus 3. Yes, sorry. My bad. Yeah, minus of a plus 3, and here we would have what? Minus of a plus 5. Yes, so this is what we have here. Yeah, so let's quickly expand this. What we would get here, minus would cancel off any which ways. We would have a square plus 6a plus 9. Yes, and what we would have here is minus and minus would get cancelled out, so we would have 2a plus 10. Yes. This would give us what? This would give us what? A squared plus 8a plus 19. Yes, so this is what we have, a squared plus 8a plus 19. Yes, we have to ensure. So this is what? Alpha square plus beta square, right? So we need to ensure that this value is kept at a minimum, right? This value has to be at a minimum. The only way that could be possible is if the value of a is something negative, right? We know that for a fact. Value of a should be something negative, but then the question is not asking for the value of a, they are asking for this, right? So the value of a could be literally anything. Yes, so to ensure that we get the least value for alpha square plus beta square, which has to be positive any which ways, and also the answer choices abide by that, right? We could either stick to substituting some number here to identify that, or we could stick to splitting this into a perfect square and some other term, right? So let's split this into a perfect square and another term, right? So I have a square plus 8a. I know 8a would be what? 2 times ab, right? If there were a b. Yes, so 2 times ab is 8a, which means b has to be 4. Yeah, that basically means what? 19, I'll have to split it as 16 and 3, correct? So if I split this as 16 plus 3, and I have a square plus 8a plus 16. Yes, what would happen? This would become a plus 4 the whole square, correct? So what I would have here is this: a plus 4 the whole square plus 3 would be equal to whatever is asked of us, right? So this is what is given. Now we need to ensure this is the minimum, right? It has to be minimum, which means the only possible minimum value for a plus 4 should have been what? 0, because otherwise it will still make up to be a positive number even if a were something negative, right? So a can be substituted as minus 4. What we would get is 0 square plus 3, which means the minimum value of alpha square plus beta square is what? 3. Yes, so my answer is option C, 3. Yes. Got it? Yes. Super. So a lot of you were able to answer this, which is very nice. What we have resorted here to is squaring, right? Converting this into a square. Yes, so we would be converting this into a square to avoid any confusions with the value of a. Yes. Okay. Vidisha, I guess I hope you've gotten the right answer now, right? Rishant, Khushi, your answer is right. Paradox, you'll have to check. Kalpit, you'll also have to check. Shubham, very nice. Very good, Shubham. Very good, Saurav. Ayush 0 is not even there in the answer choices, which means you can't answer something that's beyond what's given in the answer choice, right? Ayushi, no, D is not right. I hope now you've understood, right? Ayushi, Khushbu, Vidisha, Shreya, Saurav, yes? No, Khushi, they're not, no, Khushi, they're not asking for the minimum value of y, not of the equation. So, okay, so if you consider this as a quadratic equation, then you can go ahead and do that, yes? But why would you want to trouble yourself with that, right? That's another step here, yes? Got it. So 4ac minus b square by 4a is what you're suggesting, right? That would be an extra step there, yes? So you can actually just avoid that entire thing. But if you want to go for that, you can surely go ahead and do that. Yes. Great. Saurabh, yeah, that's what that's what that's what Khushi is also suggesting, right? You can differentiate to get the value of y at a minimum, right? So minimum value of y can be identified using that. Of course you can. Yes. But why would you want to resort to an extra step? The choice is yours though. The choice is yours. You can still resort to that. Yes. Very nice, guys. Another question, very simple question, yet it's time consuming because of the steps involved there, right? Very nice. So if you were able to answer this question in the given time, or if you are now confident that you will be able to answer this question in the given time, then please raise your glasses for yourself, raise your bottles for yourself, congratulate yourself, and do not forget to hit like to this video. Yes, cheers, guys. Okay, are you guys ready for the next question? Yes. Are you guys ready? All right, let's move ahead. Let's move on to the next question. The moment I change the slide, you would see the next question, which is from CAT 2018's first slot, and the timer would have already begun. Yes. So I hope you guys are ready for that. I hope you guys are prepared for the next question, because here it comes. This is from 2018, which gives all the reasons to be a very difficult question. Yes, this is a complex question in a way that it would take you more than a minute and a half. So I'm not going to be mad at you if you take more than a minute and a half. Yes, in fact, if you can come up with the answer, that would be really great. Yes. So what is the answer to this question, guys? What is the answer to this question? Yeah, so here what you have to keep in mind, here is, again, they're not asking for the roots. Yes, what they are asking for is the value of u plus 3v. Yes, that's what is asked here, u plus 3v's value. Yes, please keep that in mind. Please do not forget what is asked of you. Yeah, that's extremely important that you remember, or write down somewhere on a corner of your rough sheet. Yes, which would avoid you getting confused here. Yes. So here they're asking for what is u plus 3v, and your time is about to get over, right? Your time is about to get over. Let's see if you already have the answer. Yes. Anyone? So this is definitely the kind of question, that would take up, a lot of your time. Yes. And at one point in time, it might seem like you are nowhere near the answer. Yes. But don't worry, don't worry. Yes, that is why I am here. Yeah. So here what do we have? We have a quadratic equation. Yes, but then the difficulty here is what? There are two variables, right? Two different variables, u and v. So we might want to, find something out, do something there about that, right? So whenever you have multiple variables, you should either be able to find out the ratio between them, u and v. Yes, that seems like difficult here because that's the only equation we have, the only expression we have with u and v in it. Yes, that means if you can't find out the ratio, if you can't resort to finding out the ratio, that means you will have to identify two different quadratic equations within the same. Yes, that's the only way out. Yeah. So what we can do here, so if you guys have tried it, and if you would want me to solve it, please drop in a yes. Please drop in a yes if you want me to start solving it for you. Yes. Okay, a lot of them have actually answered. Very nice. Saurav has answered, Shubham has answered, Vibhor has answered, Khushbu has also answered. Very nice. Shreya has answered, but then it's not the right answer. Okay. Vibhor says u is 1 by 2 and v is minus 1 by 4. That's right. Yes, it is. Very nice. Okay. Right. So let's try this out. Let's see, where we take this, where we go with this. And if you have any questions regarding it, please feel free to ask. Okay. So this will surely take up a lot of our time. Yes. So here we have u squared. Let's try to expand this, right? Let's try to expand this expression that we have inside. Yes. So u squared plus, this would be what? U squared. So you can either consider this as a and this entire thing as b, or if you want to consider this as a, b and c, that's even better, right? So what's a minus b minus c the whole square? Yes. A plus b plus c the whole square would be what? A square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. Right? So this is what would be a plus b plus c the whole square. So a's value is 2, b's value is minus 2b, and c's value is minus 1. Let's see if we can quickly expand this. Yes. So if we were to expand this, what we would get? U squared plus 4v squared plus 1, so that is a square plus b square plus c square, right? Plus 2 times ab, that means minus of 2u. Yes, minus of 2u. Then 2 times bc, that is plus 2v, sorry, plus 4v. Yes, plus 4v, and 2 times ac, that is no, ab should have been minus 4u, right? My bad. Yes, so AB would be what? Minus 4UV. No issues, right? Minus 4UV. BC is 4 times V. Yes. BC is minus 2V into 2, that is plus 2V. Double would be 4V. And AC would be what? Minus U, which means minus 2U. Yes, so this should be equal to what? This should be equal to what? Let's quickly multiply this inside also. Minus 4uv minus 4v squared, right? So this is what we have. Yes. We can let go of two terms from here. Yes, we can let go of minus uv from both sides, right? Minus 4uv from both sides. Yes, everything else would remain. So let's bring everything to a side and see if we can make a quadratic equation out of it. And we don't have any uv term left. Yes, no uv term left, which basically means it will not be u plus v the whole square or something like that. Yes, so we will have to make two different quadratic equations here. So u square plus u square is 2u squared. Yes, and what do we have? We have plus 4v. Sorry, so let's bring in all u's together. minus 2u. Then let's talk about all v's. 4v plus 4v would be 8v squared, and then we have plus 4v, and we have a 1 left here, plus 1 should be equal to 0, right? Now if you look at this, this does not end up in a very smooth equation. Yes, which means we'll have to add or remove something to make it an equation that gives us squares, right? Perfect squares. Yes, so what we could do here, look at this. Yes, we have this 1 here. Let's take the 1 to the other side to avoid any confusion. Yes, so we have 2 times u square minus 2u, yes, plus 8 times v square plus 4v would be equal to minus 1, right? Let's keep that there. Yes, now let's try out two different things, right? So here what do we want? We want this to be in a perfect square format, right? Something a plus b or a minus b the whole square format. Yes, so we have 2u square to be a, right? That doesn't seem good, right? 2u square to be a square, which means a would be root 2u. I don't want to bring in roots here, so I'm going to take this out in common. Yes, so if I take out 2 in common, I would have u square minus u. On the other side, again, I have 8v square. I know 8 cannot be a perfect cube or perfect square or whatever, right? So here, to avoid that, what I can do, I'll again take 2 common out here. Yes, so I would get what? 4v square, that is 2v plus 4v. Yes, okay, this is minus 1. Yeah, so now look at this, u square minus 2, right? U square minus 2, if I add something to it, it should turn out to be in the form a minus b the whole square, right? So what do you get? A would become u here, and b should be what? Minus 2 times ab, right? So minus 2ab should be what? U. That basically means what? A is u, yes, so b should be what? B should be what? 1 by 2, correct? Yes, so what do I have to do? I have to add 1 by 2 on both sides. Yes, I have to add 1 by 2 on the inside. Yeah, I have to add, yeah, inside I have to add 1 by 2. That basically means I have to add what? 1 by 4 both sides, correct? Yes, so what would I get? I would get u in 2 into u square minus u plus 1 by 2. Yes, and here what would happen? Minus 1, yes, minus 1 plus 1 by 4 here, correct? Now let's look at this. The other expression also, 4v square plus 4v, right? So 4v square plus 4v, what do you get? A would be 2v, yes, and b is what we have to find out. That means what? 2 times ab must be equal to what? 4v. Yes, 4v. That basically means 2 times ab must be equal to 2v. That means a is already 2v. That gives us what? B to be equal to 1. Yes, so b has to be 1, but I've taken 2 common outside, right? I've taken 2 common outside, which means what happens? 1 by 2 is what is to be added, right? So plus 2 times what happens here? 4v square plus 4v plus 1. Yes, but on the other side what we would have is adding plus 1, yeah, but adding what? Plus 1 by 2 on both sides. Yes, got it. Now what do we have? We have a very nice expression here. Yes, we have 2 minus u minus 1 by 2 the whole square. Yes, 2 times, that is, yeah, and on the other side what do we have? 2 times 2v plus 1 the whole square. Yes, which would be equal to what? 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 4. 3 by 4 minus 1 is how much? Minus 1 by 4, correct? Am I right here? Yes, actually seems to be some problem here. Okay, 2 times AB, A is equal to U. So B would be equal to 1 by 2. That makes sense. And on the other side, we have 4v square plus 1 plus 4. Okay, there's something that we're missing here. So this particular area, right? This particular area should have been a 0. Yes. So we need to add 1 by 2 on both the sides, but then there's something missing out here. Okay, anyway, so we can go through this entire thing again, right? But keeping in mind that this part should be a 1 by 2. Yes. So then we would get what? We would get what? A 0 here. Yes, so we would get a 0 here. That would basically give us what? That would basically give us what? The value of u minus 1 by 2 the whole square, and the value of 2v plus 1 the whole square should be equal to 0. Yes. So here what we would get is this part would be equal to 0, and this part would also be equal to 0. Okay, there's something wrong here. Were you guys able to figure out what went wrong? Otherwise we'll have to take the entire thing again, try the entire thing again here. Yes. So this was 1 by 4, right? That's what this was, 1 by 4. Yeah, so what I did, okay, instead the value of b should be 1 by 2. Yes, so got it. So then this would be equal to 0. Okay, so u minus 1 by 4 the whole square, is it? No, 1 by 2 the whole square, that's right. Yes, u minus 1 by 2 the whole square on the other side. So this equals to 0, that is done. Yes, on the other side what happened? 4v square plus 2v plus 1. Yes. 2 times AB, but then it would be 4v only, no? Okay, alright guys, we'll do one thing. We'll start this question out, right? We'll try this out again. Yes. Let's not do it today. Yes, let's try this out again tomorrow. Yes. But then for now, let's move on to the next question. I think we've spent enough time on this question and it seems kind of confusing, right? So let's not fret about it. Yes, I'll go through this, and in the meantime, you try out this question. Yes, a very simple question from 2019's first lot. Yes, try this question out. Let's see what answer you get here, right? This is a TITA question type. Type in the answer. Yes, try this question out. Very nice question. In fact, a very interesting question also. Yes. Okay, no issues guys, don't worry. Okay, don't worry, we will try that question out again. Yes, there's no harm done. Yeah, we'll try that question out again because that question is kind of troublesome, right? And we knew that the moment we saw that question, right? I'll try and fix that. Meanwhile, you answer this. When we meet tomorrow, we will also involve that question into it, right? And I'll also tell you what mistake I made so that you don't repeat that. Yes. Answer for this question, anyone? Okay, Vibhor says 5. Very nice, Vibhor. How about others? What do you think is the answer to this question, guys? Remember wet floor, wet floor alert. Yes, there is a modulus here. Yes, alert, wet floor alert. All right, your 90 seconds are done, guys. Your 90 seconds are done. So whenever you have a mod X, right? Whenever you have anything in modulus, you have to be extremely careful. Yes, careful enough to not mess this up. Yeah. Harvinder also says the answer is 5. Very nice. Khushbu's gotten it as well. Superb. Yes, so what we have to do here is, to avoid any confusions that we could have with this mod X, right? We can actually eliminate this. Yes, We can eliminate this keeping in mind that we replace mod x with something else, right? So mod x, yes, if I substitute this as y, yes, if modulus x is substituted as y, then what would happen? X square would be what? Y square. Because any which ways modulus x, whether it's negative or positive, would end up to be positive if it's squared, right? So I just replace this in the given equation to avoid any confusion, right? So what would I have? I would have y times 6x square, that is 6y square, plus 1 being equal to 5y square, right? So one y could get cancelled off. We have to remember that we've cancelled out a y, yes. So we'll keep that in mind on the side here, yeah. So now what we would have is a very nice quadratic equation, 6x square plus 1 minus 5y is equal to 0, yes. Or rearranging this, we would have 6y square minus 5y plus 1 equal to 0. We'll have to factorize this. We have to get 6 in such a way that the sum is 5. Yes, so what we would have here, 3 and 2. Yes, both being positive in this case. Yes, very nice. But you'll have to remember that these are not the roots, right? Roots would be what? 3 by 6 and 2 by 6, which means what are the values of y here? We have values of y to be 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. Yes, but what do we know? We know that y is what? Mod x, right? So y is equal to mod x. That basically means if one of the values of mod x is 1 by 2, then the values of x would be what? Plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2. Yes. On the other hand, if we have another value of mod x to be 1 by 3, then what we would have? X would be positive 1 by 3 and negative 1 by 3. Yes. So these are the four values. These are the four values that x could take. But do you remember? We had cancelled out a y. Yes. And the only way you can cancel out two terms on each side is if you equate it to 0. Yeah. So just to check if y, which is equal to mod x, could also be 0, quickly just substitute it in the equation. Yes, what we would get, 0 into something would be equal to 0 into something that clearly satisfies. Yes. So apart from 1, 2, 3, 4, you also have x being equal to 0. So totally you have 1, 2, 3 and 4, and including 0, 5 values. Yes. So what are the number of solutions of this equation? 5. Yes. This would have been a easier question, easier than this at least, if we did not have modulus, right? So you'll have to always keep that in mind. That you do not forget what is inside modulus. Yes. Now, if you have tried this by considering both plus x as a separate equation and minus x as a separate equation, you could do that also. Yes. Either which ways you will end up factorizing it twice. Yes. So to avoid factorizing this thing twice, what we've gone through is this. Yes. So had you in a parallel situation, I don't know how many of you have done this. How many of you have taken two equations in consideration? Equation 1 being x into 6x square plus 1 equal to 5x square, and the other equation as minus x into 6x square plus 1 equal to 5x square. How many of you have done this? Yes, how many of you use this method and how many did you use this method? Let's call this method 2. Let's call this method 1. So please drop in if you've used method 1. Yes, this could be a very nice alternative to method 1. Anyone? Yeah, okay, Mayur has used the second method, which is nice. Yes. Okay, the first method, Mayur has used the first method. Okay, the only difficulty you might have here is to factorize this twice. Yes, you would have two different equations, but any which ways. Okay, Parul has used method 1, Vibhor also method 1, Prince also, Jagrati also. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so you could actually try and resort to the second method just to avoid this extra step. Yes. So you know if you cancel out two terms on both left and right, yes, one possible value could of that term would be what? 0. Yes. Got it. Very nice, guys. Superb. Yeah. So M2 could be an alternative to this. Yeah. So the next time you see a question like this, a similar question like this, you can try and resort to the second M. Yeah. Superb. I have done by M1, but by sign. Okay, got it, got it. Very nice, Vibhor. Superb. Anuj, why would you want to open the brackets if you can? You have common terms, right? You have x here, you have x here. They would get eliminated, right? Why would you want to make this into a cubic equation when you can restore the quadratic equation any which ways? Yeah. Yes. Very nice. Okay, Vijay has used M3, which we are still figuring out what M3 is. Okay, do you mean M3 is using sign of the roots? Very nice. Very nice. But you would have to be a little more, you would have to be a little more confident about that only because there is a modulus here, right? So if you don't want to get involved or get pulled in into this particular quicksand, then you're good to go. Yes. Super, very nice, guys. So what we have achieved so far is we've solved three and a half question, right? The previous question we had to leave halfway, but don't worry. I'll try to work that out again, and then we will talk about that tomorrow, right? So tomorrow, what we'll see are some more questions from CAT 2019 and this one from the past, right? The past always haunts us. Yes. Okay, so. Shubham, yeah. I would definitely agree with that, right? They are extremely intelligent. Yes, extremely intelligent. Yeah. And I'm so glad that I was able to, deal with a set of students like this. Yes, very nice. BTech के लिए Vishal, we are talking about MBA here. Yes, I may not be able to help you in detail about that, but I've heard a lot about this particular institution that you're talking about. Yes. Yeah, Tendra, of course we can do that. Yes. But as much as possible, we would have to work towards avoiding that, right? As much as possible, as long as you can stick to algebra and not take a lot of time, we are good to go. Yes. All right. Yeah. Okay. So cheers to us being able to answer these questions. Yes. Some took us a little more time, some did not. Yeah. Congratulations on that. Yes. Today has been a fruitful learning. Cheers to that as well. Now let me do what I usually do towards the end, right? Join the community, guys. If you haven't already joined it, please go ahead and join it. The plus subscription is something that is worth, paying for, right? You have live classes and the interaction that we have, right? It may not be as, here on YouTube, it may not be very detailed, or I may not be able to give, individual attention. But there on plus that is possible. So the interaction is also a little better, and you can always, compare your scores with the rest of it, right? So these quizzes that we do, you would be able to identify in how much time did you answer it. Yes, and also where was your score or was your answer better than the rest of theirs for individual question, and for the entire quiz, what was your score? Where do you stand in terms of percentile? My bad. Where do you stand in terms of percentile? That would also be known using live polls and leaderboard. Apart from that, the test series and analysis, I've already told you about this. Instead of, paying just for the mock test separately, this is an entire package, right? This is like an end-to-end CAT solution thing. Yes. So if you're planning on, giving mock tests, which I would definitely recommend, right? So if you've heard any of the toppers speak, yes, they say that they've taken at least 30 mock tests, right? 30 full length mock tests. Yes, not just mock tests, 30 full length mock tests they have taken to be confident enough to be able to, crack CAT and get the top score. Yes. And the best part about this, the plus is what? The live doubt clearing sessions, which means after we've done speaking about, speaking of a concept for 3 days, the fourth day would be a mandatory live doubt clearing session, which means all these 3 days, whatever you practiced on your own or whatever you found on different mock tests or wherever you found any question, you can share a picture of that and that would be answered live. Yes, which means you would be able to cross question, you'd be able to ask the educator to return or repeat the entire thing, everything. Yes, for that all that you'll have to do is download the Unacademy's learning app, install it. Yes, go for plus. Before going for plus, what I would definitely recommend is, before going ahead and paying for it, I would want you to go through what is the content. Yes, so go through the content, test it out yourself, and then figure out whether you're up for it or not. Yes. So because you've taken this up does not mean you have to, go for it, right? So the choice is yours, but you can always consider going through the app first. Look out for what content is available. There are so many other educators, so many top educators I'm talking about, right, who take classes on Plus. Yes, and some of them are also for free. So you can always go ahead and check that out at least. Yes. And if you're planning to take the subscription, then do not forget to use the code Surana Live, which will fetch you an extra 10% discount, which would be a little light on your wallet as well, right? And the pricing is extremely low, right? As low as an Netflix HD account that you take. Yes, so less than 1,000 rupees a month, to help you invest in your future, right? And any person you've spoken to, right, all they always say is the best place to invest your money is in your own future. Yes. Thank you very much, guys. Today's day has been extremely delightful. Thank you very much for being this, interactive with me. Yes. Prince, of course, I understand, right? We'll always have to work on one of the two things, either accuracy or speed. Yes. Nobody was able to, get that upfront immediately. Yes. Oh, okay, Vijay, very nice, very. Right, this could also be used. Very nice method. Yes, an alternative for the entire solution of that question. Very good, Vijay. Thank you so much, Shubham. It was a pleasure here as well. All right, guys, I'm going to take a leave. I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more actual CAT questions from Quadratic Equation. We'll be looking at that one question from 2018 and some more from 2019. Until then, good night. Have a great day ahead.